Hey everyone, this is Cindy at an open door. I love that we're here together. It is, according to the calendar, February 16th, and this is the hour that we have entitled Where Rubber Meets the Road, where we take an idea from A Course in Miracles and we see how it can inform and enrich our experience now. There's a lot of emotion here as I sink into this space with you. I opened the book at random this week and I came to the section entitled The Unreality of Sin. And every time I read it, I felt something give way inside. And I realized, as I have realized many times before, that we could probably share on this one section for a year easily. This morning, though, what I wanted to share, or what I am being asked to share, came through. And so I am going to share, and then I'm going to play the song that has come to be played. I may or may not say some more things, and then I'll hand things over to Andrew. So here is what is on my heart to share in spending time with the unreality of sin. Sin, in all of its ramifications, no matter how you look at it, contains fear. A mistake has no fear, it's simply something that can be corrected. As long as you feed into the belief in the justification of fear, you will believe in sin. And this section clearly states that you will never get out of the dream. It's a cycle. So as long as you believe in fear, you believe that there's a justification for fear/sin. God can't find you. There's lots of different ways this stated, and you'll never step out of the cycle of the experience of life that feeds on this belief in separation and fear. It clearly states that if you are feeding the belief in sin, whether in yourself or in another, the Holy Spirit can't see you. For me, that's the same thing as um, the guides continually stating you can choose to go back to the common field or the lower field if you insist that you want to continue your experience in fear. We have no judgment, but you can't bring this fear/this sin with you to the upper room. You can, however, lift it to the upper room and have it become something other, but not until you accept that anything that the world calls sin is simply a mistake. There's no judgment in that statement, by the way. It's just, it dropped this morning. It's a simple statement. As long as you believe in sin/fear/separation, that is the experience that you will continue to have. If you want to continue to feed that belief in sin, the belief that your brothers are sinful as opposed to just misguided, you will continue to simply feed the idea of separation. And in this particular section, it said the Holy Spirit can't help you. The guides have literally said, you can choose at any time to hang out in the in the lower fields. If you're ready for something else, come on up to the upper room and we can reclaim the experience. When you are tempted to believe that sin is real, this is paragraph 9, remember this. If sin is real, both God and you are not. I have engineering in my training. I love logic. There is no choice but this. If creation is extension, the Creator must have extended himself, and it is impossible that what is part of him is totally unlike the rest. If sin is real, God must be at war with himself. He must be split, separation, and torn between good and evil, partly sane and partly insane. For he must have created what wills to destroy him and has the power to do so. Is it not easier to believe that you have been mistaken than to believe in this? I'm going to play a song um, that came in my space this morning. I also am inspired to state, and I have to, this afternoon when we work with the guides, we're going to stick with the Releasing the Fear, part 4. We've listened to part 1, 2, and 3, and last week was 4. And there is an intensive called The Higher Will that started this weekend. And it's all up, so you can listen to it. In day 3 of Higher Will, and this made Paul very uncomfortable, and I've never heard the guides do this before. The guide said, in these 6 weeks, right now, in these 6 weeks, right now, the tone has gotten up, is rising, and we're being asked to align or attune with the higher frequency. And some of us, I see Amy like shaking her head, some of us is feeling that. I know I've been feeling it. But they literally stated over these next 6 weeks, it's going to intensify, and it's an opportunity to align the personal will or the personality with the higher will. We're not disappearing. We're just coming into alignment in the higher vibration, right? What is required in this section and in the guides and in my study of Kabbalah and in my study of Joel Goldsmith, almost everything that lights me up, Helen Hamilton, is this understanding that there is no justification for fear, right? And by that, I mean, and we've talked about what fear is. I'm going to stick with the guide's definition that fear, separation, the denial of the divine are all one. So for me, fear means that I believe that there's something other than God that can beat God, that there is an evil that can overcome love. All right. I mean, that's just how it's working here. And I don't, right? I'm willing to stand still and recognize that historically, both in Cindy's life and in the human collective, in the dream that's playing out, but I don't have to say yes to it anymore. This song, which is based on the Psalm of David, is part of what helps, we're going back now to the New Testament, and let me just play it because I say all those things, right? And I confess historical, like all the stories are coming up and they taste like fear. So can I fully allow them? Can I not be afraid to allow them to express without believing that they are justified or that they protect me? It's an interesting kind of balance, right? To let the fear that has been controlling the way I view my world and my relationships and everything else to be expressed so that they can be consumed and reclaimed, as opposed to believing that they speak to a truth and so therefore need to be fed. So can I allow them to be expressed without feeding them? I don't know how that lands for you, but I'm glad I had an opportunity to say it. And let's spend about 4.5 minutes with this song that touches my heart.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, knowing you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely, goodness, love, and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right path for his name's sake. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. For you are with me. For Lord, you are with me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. For you are with me. For Lord, you are with me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. Mujiji, you are with me, my Lord, you are with me.
All yours, Andrew.
Thank you, Cindy. That was a lovely song. Hello, everyone. I love you all. It's great to see you again. Sin. What exactly is it? What do we mean? Is it breaking some rule? Is it the Ten Commandments that define sin? What about laws of the land? What about driving 10 miles over the speed limit? Is that a sin? Or littering? Is that a sin? Imagine you were born into a tribe in the Amazon somewhere that ate human flesh. They were cannibals. If you were born into that, that would be normal. Killing a human that was from a different tribe would be acceptable. It wouldn't be considered a sin. But maybe killing a snake it would be if they felt snakes were sacred. You just don't know. So what is the sin exactly? What defines it? Course says that guilt is the attraction of sin. So it seems to me that really anything that makes you feel guilty is a sin. A thought could be a sin, or an action could be a sin. Anything that makes you feel guilty is a sin. So we're also told that guilt comes from the idea of separation, the idea that we did something impossible, separated from our source. So really, there is no cause for guilt. We believe there is because we believe we separated. So if there's no cause for guilt, there is no sin. Now, that doesn't mean we should all become cannibals. We have to live within the laws of society. But how do we live? Knowing that there is no sin. We just trust that wherever we are, whatever our situation is, we're in the right place at the right time for us to learn what we're here to learn how to become our true self, to learn that we are our true self, and this is all an illusion. That's what I have. Thank you again. I love you all.
Thank you. Hmm.
I'll go after
Go for it,
Richard.
Amy. Oh,
Richard can go first.
Happy morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Love us all. Great to see you all. Great share, great music. Thank you, Andrew, for that introduction. When I read this, I thought of my conditioning. I was born in American, part of Western culture. I was Catholic by religion, and I was taught as a child that if I broke a law in society, I might go to jail as punishment for breaking the law. But sin was breaking the law of God. And my religion told me that if I died with sin on my soul, I would go to hell. So I had two kinds of laws growing up. One society and one God. And I find it interesting reading this lesson that if sin is real, God does not exist. So, and that has led me over the years to embrace everything as a mistake because I believe God is. I believe that I am part of God. And if I want to believe that, I have to believe that there is no such thing as sin. Sin is a part of the separation, part of the dualistic experience as an ego. Everything in the dualistic world has an opposite. So if there's goodness or love, there must be badness or sin. And that's only true in the dream, not true in reality. So I really enjoyed the section about sin because it's really helped me. This understanding has helped me to love everyone without judgment. Not that I'm doing that 100% of the time, but that's my intent. Love everything without judgment. So only if I could do that with mistakes, that was easy. When the Course taught me about everything is a mistake, that's easy. But if I really believed there was sin, and some things were unforgivable, then I was in trouble. Then I was in the wrong mind. So loving everything is really made my life so much more joyful, and so much more loving and compassionate, because I don't exclude anyone or anything from the love that I am in truth. So thank you for letting me share. Love us all.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing. Love us more. Amy, please.
Good morning. Thank you, Andrew, and also Richard. What a great choice for the read. There's two things that I just need to share. One is I love paragraph 6 that talks about how time is a downward spiral. And I love and appreciate paragraph 9, which really explains it more. The belief in time is the same as the belief in sin. It's attached. And paragraph 9 explains it. When you're tempted to believe that sin is real, remember this, as Cindy said, if sin is real, both God and you are not. There is no choice but this. If creation is extension, the Creator must have extended himself, and it is impossible that what is part of him is totally unlike the rest. If sin is real, God must be at war with himself. And what this says to me is when we take time and we separate it out into separate moments, we don't see the connection between something that we judge as bad and what it appears at further along the extension as being beautiful. And so we get lost in that, and we don't see the big picture. So that's what I'm getting out of this. And I love the way it explains it in this chapter or in this section. The other thing I want to say, and I think it was Andrew who said this, I got this Instagram from my brother this morning. He was very much a fundamentalist Christian. And he's saying, the reason that I'm saying this, I wasn't going to, but Andrew just, what he talked about, if you grow up in a tribe that eats babies or that eats kids or eats other people, it just, I can't not say this. The Instagram my brother sent me was this young guy complaining about people that protest against ICE when there are people who are eating babies in the United States. There are people who worship eating children. And what a crime it is that we're protesting ICE, but nobody's protesting these people that are eating babies. And what it makes me feel like is exactly what this says. Is it's a perfect example of getting caught in that downward spiral of believing in sin and having no way to get out. And so my prayer, and as I listen to the song, is to send my brother and all my brothers through the Holy Spirit release from that downward spiral. Because I can't do it myself. I can only do it through the Holy Spirit. So I thank you for that. What a beautiful, beautiful teaching this morning. Thank you. It's good to be here.
I sat with paragraph 6 for a while and realized that it was activating too much of my engineering kind of mind, and I didn't quite understand it, and didn't have the energy to go and start creating graphs and putting it all together. And so I decided to just put it aside for a little while and stick with the forgiveness pieces. So thank you for bringing it up. Hey, John.
Hey, everybody. Just on that eating babies thing, I kind of think it's kind of in my mind right now because we're talking about sin, and so one of the things that I was awakened to this morning was the psychiatrist at the Nuremberg trials, and he realized how close he was identified to Hermann Goering, who was one of the worst criminals imaginable. And it bothered him so much that in actual fact, 12 years later, he committed suicide in exactly the same way that Hermann Goering was. He took cyanide. So basically, it's a question of identification or what we're identifying with. And I kind of think, since we're talking about sin and the unreality of that, it couldn't get more explicit than this. Like, who's in those files? What are they doing? What do they have been doing? So on and so forth, and on and on and on. Like, and who is like this? Who is exactly like this? Is this a sin? Well, what's wrong with any of that? If it's all unreal, what's wrong with any of it? In fact, it may be supportive if you take a good look at it and see how we identify with exactly this stuff ourselves. Put that on the premise of our logical deductive thinking, Cindy. You love to be a scientist. Put that on the premise. Examine those kind of things. Where do we fit in exactly all of this? Because it really goes exactly to what I just heard in the UK. They've had decades of abuse of children, little children, girls, young girls at the hands of Pakistanis, but no reporting because they don't want any racist comments, or they'll go to jail for that. So it's a really good thing. So to ask you, what's wrong with any of that? If sin is unreal, where do we go? And with that in mind, as a question, I'm really, really impressed with some of the American patriots. One of them, we started with the Psalm. It just took me back to the Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. With your permission, I'd like to just read it. It doesn't take very long. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. dust thou art, to dust returneth, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow finds us further than today. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. Heart within and God o'erhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints in the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. This poem emphasizes living purposely, acting in the present, and leaving a meaningful legacy in the dream. But it really goes back to what I heard first words out of Cindy's mouth today, which is how are you? She asked, in this present moment. That's the thing. How are you in this present moment? So with that, I'll say thank you very much.
Thank you. Your holy relationship has as its purpose now the goal of proving this is impossible, i.e., that the mind can split. Heaven has smiled upon it, and the belief in sin has been uprooted in its smile of love. You see it still because you do not realize that its foundation has gone. Its source has been removed, and so it can be cherished but a little while before it vanishes. Only the habit of looking for it still remains. And yet you look with heaven's smile upon your lips and heaven's blessing on your sight. You will not see sin long. There's a lot of teachings lately that remind me that the actual healing, and it's in divine union, and the actual healing or the transformation is taking place in the tone or the vibration that's outside of the body mind. So it's not my job to figure out how it's done. It feels just my job. How soft can I get? Where am I placing my trust in this moment? And can I stand still? And can I stand still when the fear hits and the fear hits and look at it and say, you know what? You're not my master anymore. And it really comes down to that. Yesterday was an amazing day of watching it, all these different words and versions in different places where history would have had fear as my master or my prison, the story. And I'm like, it can come up. There's this experience of it. But do I trust that it doesn't define me or imprison me, or, fear is not justified in any form? Can I trust, Sandra, can I trust that the truth is true and the Course is real? Because the Course tells me there's no form of fear that's justified. Hey, Livy Laugh Love.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good afternoon, whatever this is. Really glad to be here with y'all today. For me, the body mind would take it a step further and shoot into shame. And that's, I've always heard the difference between guilt and shame is guilt is I did something wrong, and shame is I am something wrong. And I, for decades, felt defective in every way. And it really did make me feel separate from myself within myself. And I'm grateful to understand today the truth of what I am and the truth of what that voice is. And it's the first time that instead of cowering or being fearful or believing it, I am learning it's just a call for love. It's just that call for love and for healing. And I've never understood that approach, and recognizing that it's not me doing it really, really helps. And it's about making space for that love to enter and to be able to embrace those parts of myself that I have rejected for decades. And it helps me not only do that with me, but to do it with others. I wasn't going to share this either, but I will. I had a moment, a reminder of the fear that I have. I was sitting with my niece and her husband, and he used to be in the Coast Guard, and he's a military guy, and bless him, he just very innocently said, "My brother is joining ICE." And I reacted in fear, and I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yes, my brother is," and I said, "Why in the world would he do that?" And my niece was like, "Well, if you really met him," I was like, "I don't want to meet him. Why would I want to meet him? They're murderers, they're Nazis." I mean, I just was speaking very fluently the language of fear. And I'm grateful that I was able to sit back and say, "You know what? That's not who I want to be today. What I want to be is to see the love in everything and everybody. And if I want to be the change that I want to see, which is a lot easier said than done, then that is inclusive, being inclusive and understanding they know not what they do and that they are divine as well as I am." And I was able to say these things to him. And the clincher for it was the calm that I felt the rest of the evening. We were sitting out on the porch before dinner. The rest of the evening, there was a calm within me that was I was just joyful. I was just so amazed. I was able to hug, and, that's not me. That's not what the body mind always wanted to do. And so I'm grateful today to recognize the truth of what I am and where that love is coming from, and that I am just an expression of that in this unique expression. And I'm just really, really grateful that I'm able, and I'm really through this understanding the flow better, because the more I'm able to be compassionate and loving and forgiving with the small self by allowing that to happen, it just flows to other people. The compassion and the love flows easily when I'm giving it to myself. When I'm shaming and beating up on myself, that's when I start pointing fingers and shaming you, because I'm projecting that onto you. And so I'm really grateful today that I can project the love and the compassion and have wonderful opportunities to practice it within myself. So thank you so much. This is just a wonderful, wonderful meeting. Really grateful to be with y'all. I love you so much. Love us.
John, why did your hand go down? Mr. Sunday?
I was clapping. That was I was clapping for it looked like
I
a
know.
hand. I was
Well,
just clapping.
your hand was up and then it went down and then you were clapping.
Oh, maybe it was from before. Sorry about that. But the only thing I missed to say was I love you. You know,
Ah.
and the other thing that occurred to me was, about because we're talking about sin today. The thing that went across my mind, the only sin is really ignorance, ignorance of the laws, ignorance of whatever. So we're just a really, really ignorant crowd of people. But we're on our journey, and we're here. We're here today, where the rubber meets the road, and it's meeting the road. So hey, you go, sister. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Julie.
Good morning, afternoon, whatever it is, everyone. Oh my, I was walking the dog. I had to walk the dog because I got a plane. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so I was listening to everything and gosh, awesome shares. And to be honest, I had the book open this morning, but I never got around to reading the chapter. So just listening to each of you guys' shares is just like beautiful. And I will plan on reading it after. What I wanted to say is I could relate so much to what Livy said because of the shame. I tend to, when something goes wrong, I tend to beat myself up. This weekend, my husband and I found out with the home we're building that the brick we thought we picked out is not the brick they put up. And it's not that I hate the brick, I like it. It's just I really like the other one better. And to me, it's gonna clash with everything else we picked out. And I'm working on that. I talked it over with Livy and Rana this weekend, and I do really well. It's okay. Just it's but I'm more mad at myself because I didn't ask what the name of the brick was. I just assumed that the sales lady, because she knew what house we liked, that she put that wrong. And so that's where I'm beating myself up. And I have to forgive myself because I am human. And that's why I'm so grateful to be in these rooms with all you beautiful people, because when you share, you just give me that I'm okay. I'm okay. And that life, and it is about love, and that the truth is the truth. And the sin I have to work on, because like Richard said, I grew up Catholic, and man, that guilt they put on you, geez, many. But it's better, like you said, you're going to go to hell if you steal a candy bar, But now I've learned for many years that there is no hell. I have knew that just because I know we have a loving God, and I knew that before we came in. I came into these rooms with all of you, but just being in these rooms with all of you guys just reaffirms that it really is a loving God, and I'm Him, and I'm love, and there's nothing wrong with me. And I just have to remember that. And so when I make a mistake, it's okay. It's okay. That life is okay. This is my dream. And like Richard says, it's already over. So, but right now I'm living it and I'm still growing. And I just thank you for welcoming me and just, whoa, because I almost skipped this meeting because I have some other things going on this afternoon. But I thought, no, I got to be on this. And wouldn't you know, it's exactly what I need. And so voila, and thank you. So and Cindy, that song was beautiful. So love you all. Thank you.
So something that's been coming up that's been really, really useful here right now, and I'm going to say it and then hand things over to Rana. Curious, by a raise of hands, how many people have identified shame within themselves in the last 10 or 20 years? Shame is a vibration, right? So what if the truth is true and shame is an experience and it's never personal? Which means, for me, it means like this fear. There's been a lot of different kinds of fear and things coming up in my experience right now. And it doesn't matter why. Um, and whenever I can be conscious enough to remember none of it is personal, this is the collective consciousness is going through a transformation, and all of the teachers that I love tell me things have to come to the light and be seen before they can be transformed. So the guilt comes up, the shame comes up, The feeling of not having value comes up. The feeling unsafe comes up. The feeling like others are idiots and why can't, whatever, these things. What if none of it is personal? Nisargadatta Maharaj states clearly that there's no such thing as a person. What we call is a person is just a thread of memories and habits. And what if the truth is true, and when this body drops, I remain? It means that I ain't a person, and these energies are coming up. And what if I continually hold them as just energies that are in the collective, and they have nothing to do with me? Somehow I'm so much more patient and so much more able to allow them to express here when I know that they don't define me. So shame, what if shame is simply being healed in the collective? And part of that is it's flowing through our individuated channels. But it's not your shame. It's not my shame. It's just a vibration that we put a label of a lower vibrational jelly gunky stuff. And I have the, and when I see it, I have the opportunity to hold it, just that, in something of a higher vibration, because love always dissolves fear. You know, the higher vibration always helps reclaim the lower. So anyway, I'm actively holding that in my consciousness. Yeah, I see it in your face, Julie. You get it, right? Hey, Rana, I love you. I know that you're having experiences this week, and so no matter how
Yes,
often we see you or not see you, you know, you're in
yes,
my
yes.
heart.
My daughter's having surgery Wednesday, everybody, so keep her close. I trust it will go well. It's not the first time we've been down this road. It's just a revision, they call it. And it's no big deal. So I just wanted to take a moment and tell you what really I zeroed in on in this reading. I just kept reading the sentence over and over and contemplating it. It's from paragraph 8 in the middle, sentence 3. It says, sin is the belief that your perception is unchangeable and that the mind must accept as true what it is told through it. And I just kept thinking about, what is it told? What are some examples of what it's told? Well, that I am my thoughts, that I must follow and believe the thoughts that go through my head, that there's a me and a you, that separation is real. Those are all like examples of those thoughts. And the next sentence says, if it does not obey, like if we don't believe those thoughts, the mind is judged insane. And so there's a real, I'm thinking about being conditioned, we believe that the world is real and that there's these stories and there's all these things going on. And what I'm trying to do recently is ground myself in what's going on here now in this moment. And so there's a lot of stories going on in other places of the world with other people and all that. And I can hold them here, but where the work is done is where my feet are, and so these couple of pages just send me back again to the holy instant. When I'm disturbed and something's coming up, am I willing to pause for a moment ask for the truth to be revealed about that. Pause, pray, proceed, those kind of things. And then there's a promise on page 611 in paragraph 13. It says, you will not see sin long, for in the new perception, the mind corrects it when it seems to be seen and it becomes invisible. So I interpret this as it's becoming easier now to say, oh, hang on. I seem to be very caught up in something, and then I come here and I give you examples of when I get caught up, and then that realization, oh, I'm caught up, and then the gratitude that comes with that to say, oh, I didn't stay caught up. And there's the other sentence in 13. It says, you will help each other overcome mistakes by joyously releasing one another from the belief in sin. We're doing that together, but it still goes back to the mind is judged insane. Like the mind judges what you are offering me, what the Course is offering me, what the truth is true is offering me. There's still that doubt, like, if you believe in this, your whole life is going to fall apart, or it's things aren't going to get done, or you'll be labeled a crazy person. And so for me, it's just this softening and reminding myself that I'm willing to believe that the truth is true. I'm willing to pause and say, okay, there's a lot of hurt going on, whether it's in myself or others. But like Cindy said, I had this experience last week that it occurred to me that I was feeling all this fear and kind of self-judgment. And it occurred to me that maybe it was coming from the other room, that there's a lot of fear going on in a being right in this vicinity. And maybe it's just filtering through. So don't panic on dry land. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just a mistake. It's just an error in perception. It's just a misguided. Drop the story. No, fear is here, or self-judgment is here, and love that too. I love it because I know it's not going to last anymore. My perception is changeable because it's not mine. When I'm willing to pause and be in that experience, in that moment, it becomes beyond mine, and there's where I'm doing the work on the individual level and for everybody else seemingly that's on this planet that we're having an experience of. But what's true is that love, is that frequency, is that I love all the words we're using lately. And what's true is the reclaiming. Just taking a moment and being like, it's okay, this is here, and I reclaim it. I'm allowing it to be here. That's really different.
So, Rana, as I was listening to you, what if it's more than okay? What if it's literally what if I am here to help transform this energy right now? What if it's my job? What if it's not just, oh, I can accept it? What if it's the divine appointment?
Right. Yeah, it's way bigger than I understand, but the little bit of willingness I have to participate, seemingly, to bring it there is, it's cumulative, even though there's no such thing.
Yeah, I see it. I'm so grateful for us. Hey, Amy. Woo.
Oh my gosh, this is just so great this morning. I wanted to share one thing. Cindy started out by telling us this Paul Selig story about the next 6 weeks being this time of transformation and the ability to choose a higher vibration. And I caught my mind immediately going to, what if I don't choose? What if I forget to choose? What if I don't do it right? I mean, it was instantaneous. And I caught it. I mean, I caught it. the awareness of it was apparent. And then I remembered, you're not doing any of this anyway. You're not doing it. It's done for you. And I just wanted to share that. And I wondered if anyone else caught themselves going, oh, what if I don't do it right? So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to read this from Divine Union because it's helping me anyway, and I want to, but I did catch some of that coming. Like, number one, there was an active, I want to hear this a couple of times before I bring it to the group, and then I brought it to the group. And I felt a resistance to him putting a linear time on it, and Paul communicated a resistance. And then I looked and said, all right, what part of my mind insists that God is not real and here now? And that, I keep catching this sense of being a small person, just pretending that God is real. Is that cool? All right. This is from Divine Union. All things born in fear are operating at a low tone. You do not remedy the low tone by aligning to the low tone. You actually climb higher and realize the low tone as of source, because all things must be. When the thing is seen or realized as of God, it can be transformed. You are not pretending it's not a war. You are not pretending people are not angry. But you are lifting to a place of vibration where the old cannot be claimed in density. And you are realizing the higher where the lower has been held. And part of what I've been feeling, at least in my own space, and what I feel like they're pointing to, is that the higher has become higher, if that makes sense. Like the human collective is being held right now in a vibration that's higher than it's ever been held in before.
Yeah, I feel like it's responsibility of thought where it's our kind of like that's where our like job in quotes comes in, where it's just like remember this. Just remember it. Remember the pure potentiality of this option in anything. Because there is there is an obvious like weirdness, like just like this perpetuated like soup of pressure from like what collectively has been built. But yeah, it's cool. That's a good set of words.
Do you have the book yet, May, Divine Union?
No, I can't. I haven't found it yet at my bookstore, but I want it. I've been thinking about it.
I have a feeling that an open door might just go to Amazon this morning and send you a copy.
Ooh. Thank you, Cindy.
You like the hardcover, right? You like the holding the book in your hands.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Ooh, thank you.
All right. I love us. We've hung out for an hour. Any final words before I stop the recording? Please, Amy.
Stop the recording. I just wanted to talk to you afterwards.
All right.
Anybody that wants to stay, nothing.
All right. Well, I'll see us all. Anyone that can show up again in 2.5 hours, please do.